Hi, I'm Natalie, and welcome to Round Trip Nat. I want to thank you for stopping by my channel for some what I hope is helpful information for you. We usually do a lot of transatlantic sailings. Mostly I go there and come back, but this was our first Transpacific sailing, and it was a very different experience for us. You would think as seasoned cruisers, nothing's new, but this experience was new for us, and we enjoyed it. And I want to give you 10 things you need to know about Transpacific sailing. First, get to the port early. It doesn't matter where, if you're going out of Sydney or New Zealand, or if you're going wherever you're sailing from, get there a day or two early. The way flights are set up now, matter of fact, we're going 2 days early this next time. So we did our first Transpacific. We enjoyed it. We're doing another one coming up, bringing a different ship back to Hawaii. They're a lot of fun, but here's my best advice I can give you. Get there early. You may think, oh, well, I'll save a couple $100 by going the day of. It's a very big headache. You're taking a very good chance that you can miss the ship. And the first couple of days usually are sea days. So you'd be missing quite a bit of chunk, and then flying to, where you need to go. It's just stress and drama that you don't need. Get there a little bit early and enjoy yourself. Relax. Enjoy the environment, that you're going to be in. Okay. My second tip, if you don't like the cabin that you received, say you did a guarantee cabin, once you get on board, go to guest services and request. That means kindly, you don't go demanding. Request a different cabin if one becomes available. It might be that somebody didn't make the ship, or they decided to cancel last minute. Who knows? But if it's available, they may give it to you at a complimentary upgrade. You never know. Doesn't hurt to ask, because the worst thing they can do is what? Say no. That's it. Doesn't hurt anybody. Don't be shy about it, because people do it every sailing. And it works out for most of them. Okay. My third tip would be get a midship cabin. I learned the hard way that having the front of a cabin is not always good on a Trans-Pacific cruise. We had the front cabin on Celebrity Eclipse. It was a 2-bedroom family veranda cabin, and it was the worst experience I've ever had on any ship. And when I tell you, we were on deck 7, so the water was splashing up on the dining room window, and I couldn't handle it. I was like, it sounded like somebody was banging on the window. I have video of that. I'll post that in one of the shorts later. But it was incredibly amazing, and not in a good way. And then come to find out, we were sitting next to a lady in the buffet, and they were on the sailing previous. They had deck 8, the same cabin above us. And she's like, oh yeah, I told them I had to move because I couldn't take it, again, because they came actually from Alaska over, and they were still on taking Hawaii to Sydney. And I could not believe it, because she was in our Facebook group, and she did not say anything. She didn't say, oh, hey, she was just saying how wonderful everything was. And you have a lot of people like that. They will say how wonderful it is, but they will not say, if something needs improvement, which is helpful to other sailors. It's helpful to the cruise lines, to the crew. It's very helpful to say something. It doesn't mean you're complaining. It's helping out other people. Because had she have said everything she said to me in the group, and she did post pictures and things in the group as well. So had she have said that information, I would have changed my cabin beforehand. And we did end up downgrading to just a regular balcony cabin. But I was fine with that, because we were able to sleep, and we were able to, we were doing this. So you can imagine how bad it was. And then midship, it wasn't at all. So she actually moved to the back of the ship, the aft, and she said they were fine back there. So that may be something you consider as well. Number 4, prepared to get a little bored. And I'm just being honest with you. There's a lot of things to do. They have a lot of enrichment. Speakers come on. They have activities and a lot of trivia and a lot of bingo. So if trivia and bingo aren't your thing, There's always the casino. They have movies going on, but they play the same movies. So during these Transpacific cruises, they do not add new movies to the collection. They're playing the same thing they would play on a 7-day cruise that they play on all the other ships. So say you were on a ship 2 months ago and you watched the movies, there's probably a good chance you're going to watch those same movies again. And they don't throw anything new into the mix. If you're traveling and there's a sporting event that you like on, you can sometimes request it. But during our sailing, they were having a hard time getting a soccer match, I believe it was, or a football match on. So they played it in the casino bar. They finally, after a lot of complaining, got it played in the casino bar area. So that's something to consider as well. Number 5, bring your own activities. So I see a lot of people bring their own books, their Kindles, they bring cards, they bring, the board games. There are board games on board that you can check out. They actually had a area in the dining room at 10 a.m. every day, and they had different setups. Okay. So there was Sudoku, there was like just everything you can think of in regards to board games. And then if you just go and join other people if you want, or if you had your own little, clique, it didn't matter. People did both. So that's something you can consider as well. Number 6, get to the shows early. We learned the hard way that you cannot show up like on other ships where, you think, oh, okay, it's after dinner. Let's go ahead and, mosey on over to the show. No, honey. People have been sitting there for an hour already. I did not understand that. I really didn't, because there's 2 showings. We weren't on a very full ship, but you could not get a seat. It seems like everybody went to the shows on our Transpacific cruise, and they were there as soon as they opened the door. Sometimes the crew was telling us. So, especially for the events, if you have like the status events you go to, we all know like they have a event for upper tier, parties where it's just a couple cocktails and, not much. And then you meet the officers, things like that. People were in line for an hour beforehand. There are plenty of seats in there for everybody because there's not very many, they do different events for the different levels. So you have plenty of seating. I just didn't understand that. So we learned more towards the middle of the end of the cruise that you needed to get there at least a little bit early to try to get a seat. Because if you try to go in 10 minutes like normal or, 15 minutes, no, you were sitting in the nosebleeds, way in the back, or you couldn't sit together. So that's something to think about. Also, to add to that, if you do get an event you're invited to that needs a reservation, do it as soon as you get on board. I know it seems a little bit, hectic to be looking to do this, but especially with Celebrity, you get a list of like, say there's wine tasting, there's behind the scenes event. As soon as I get on board, I call the concierge, I leave a message if they don't answer, and I make sure that my reservation's in there because they go fast. And they won't show up, but they don't cancel either, which is kind of rude, people. If you're not going to go, cancel so somebody else can get into there. Okay. Number 7, do not feel obligated to book the cruise line shore excursions. So that's where my main goal in helping people, educating people about cruising and travel. You do not have to book a cruise line excursion. I know they always get everybody with the, oh, you don't want to get left and, it's safer. They are using the same operators that you're going to use when you get to shore. There is one cruise line that I know of that signs a contract where they cannot do outside tours if that cruise line is in port. So, and that's only for a few companies, okay? And one of them is in Mexico. So I'm talking about a Transpacific, which I don't believe they're doing that. So, especially for like the French Polynesia, oh my God. The tour they had, I did a reel on the other app, on the book, showing you how much the tours are. $180 for a tour to take a boat ride to a little island. They have a barbecue, they teach you little cultural things. $180. We took the free, they take the tender over to the island. As soon as you get off, there's plenty of tour operators. And you may say, oh, it's not safe. Listen, this is their livelihood. If you think that they are not going to get you back to the ship, little old you, and ruin their whole life, their whole livelihood, you are sadly mistaken. Because the first person they don't get back to that ship, they're done. Their family business is over. They're done. That's it. Everybody knows that. Words spread like wildfire. People get canceled all the time because we're in cancel culture, But just remember, that's their livelihood. Their job is to get you where you're going, enjoy yourself, and back to the ship safely. So consider that when you're doing these tours in the ports. Okay. Another thing I would say when you're doing the tours, we don't pay ahead of time. We leave a deposit. I'll happily leave a deposit, but I will not pay in full until I get there. So I usually put tours together as well. And I'll make the deposit for the group and then have people pay me back like, $5, $10, whatever, on PayPal. And then the morning of, we pay for our excursions then. And I feel like that's the best way to do it. So in your groups, if people are offering tours, feel free to jump in with them. It's better than paying sometimes double and triple to the cruise line. Okay. So our next one, speaking of joining, would be join your Facebook groups. So if you're sailing, let's just throw something out there, 1123, join that Facebook group for that sailing. It's not the group for the whole cruise. It's a specific. So let's just say Wonder of the Seas, January 1st, 2023. You put that in the book, in the search bar, and the group will pop up. You join the group, please only join groups that you're sailing on. It's really creepy when people join groups. Oh, I was just here to get information. That's what the main group is for. The actual Facebook group for that particular sailing is specifically for the people on that sailing. So don't be weird in joining groups that you're not sailing on. If you want to find out what they're doing, activities, things like that, like I said, just join the main group of, say, like Celebrity Edge sailors or past, present, future, whatever. Okay. There's plenty of those, and there's a lot of information out there. So don't discount people. Well, I'll add that to it. That's a whole nother can of worms. People discounting other people's experiences and accounts of their sailings. So, okay. So number 9, take the opportunity on long sea days to explore the ship. No matter how big or small your ship is, there are plenty of things you did not see. I guarantee it. So walk around, just, get a coffee or a drink or whoever you're with, or even if you're solo, it's even better if you're solo because you could stop and, sit and chat with people that you've, never met. That's the best part of sailing, right? There's always nooks and crannies. There's little hidden things, here and there. And even at the art gallery area, just walk around, enjoy yourself. It's something better to do than nothing, right? The pools, the jacuzzis, they get crowded. Whatever you want to do, enjoy yourself. It's your vacation. Number 10, don't expect too much and you won't be disappointed. A lot of ships do the same things over and over. So when they add their Transpacific sailing, they're going to add what they do on the 7 days and then some. So like I said, they have the enrichment educators that come on board, which are fascinating. When I tell you, we're homeschoolers, we're world schoolers, and they are fascinating. Even for like us, the parents. We had 2 on our Transpacific that were outstanding. One was an aviator, retired, and the other one was a doctor that who gave information on everything from sea life to the way the ships are made. It was fascinating. Okay. What left out was the food. The food does get a little bit mundane, over and over and over. But what are you going to do? And I want to mention on the buffet, they have the same thing just about every day. So they do change up the dinner, the lunches, sometimes the lunch as well. They'll have from different locations, around the world, they'll always have Indian food, a lot of it. They'll always have the salad bar. There's a lot of vegetarian options. There's a lot of vegan options as well. Obviously, a lot of proteins, but it's always the same. So at night they do, well, hopefully they still do, because I heard there's a lot of changes. They have the live stir fry. So let's see. Only time can tell. So I want to thank you. There is also one more tip I'd like to give you. That is have fun. That's what you came to do, is have fun. Enjoy yourself, whatever it may be. If you want to be wild and be in the club all night, do that. If you just came to relax by the pool, do that. It's your vacation. Do it how you want to do it. Don't be subjected to, oh, you were supposed to do this, or you're on vacation. That's right. I learned the hard way last year that everybody vacations differently. So what I enjoy to do, you may not enjoy to do, and that is perfectly fine. Enjoy your vacation the best way you want to enjoy it, okay? Remember, give me a subscribe if you like budget-friendly travel. I'm very straightforward. I'm not into like all the big fancy, let me, edit my video perfectly. Let me put on all this makeup and perfect hair. I don't do that. I'm here to give you the basic budget-friendly travel advice, inspiration, okay? Please share and like my video and enjoy your day, because you'll never get it back. Bye.